This is Doug Upsall for Vegas Pro Insiders Daily, and today is Tuesday, January the 23rd, and we are here to talk some basketball. We got five selections for you today that include the line moves that started the whole process, and going to go through those. We got two in the NBA, which are both going to be on TNT tonight, by the way. TNT isn't on Tuesdays a lot, but they are this week. And plus a couple of college games that I think will be of interest. One in particular. Speaking of interest, Vegas Pro Insider Daily. Inner Circle membership had a lot of signups lately, and some of the people I can understand certainly why that they have done that. Besides looking at these videos, the other things are the results. Okay, now as I've said, this isn't just about all the picks. I mean, there's super systems, there's top trends, there's a variety of things. Wise guy plays, but it's about the picks, okay? That's part of it. And right now, there's a lot of guys that are really doing well. Sean Higgs, for example, #1 in the NFL at sports capping and #5 the last 60 days. And on that rotating deal, he's been like #5 like the last night, or top 5 at least the last 90 days, if not longer. So he's been killing it. Kyle Hunter, #7 in college basketball picks. He's been rolling. Dennis Macklin, 35 and 22 and 1 with his best bets at the Vegas Pro Insiders Daily Inner Circle site. And Jim Mack has hit a nice hot streak. He's 5-0 in his last 5 plays. Yours truly, hanging around the top 10 in a lot of different monitors in several different monitors that I belong to. So we got a lot of good things going on. You can become a VPID member for just $99.99 a month. That's it. That's all it's going to cost you. So get on board right today and become a VPID Inner Circle member for just, not a whole lot of money per day. All right, check that out, would you? All right, let's talk some basketball. Cleveland is at San Antonio. That's going to be the early game on TNT. And as we found out yesterday, according to several reports, there is no love fest in the Cleveland locker room at this time when we're talking about Kevin Love. Evidently, there's warring factions on both sides, not just about Kevin Love, but the team as a whole. They had all this big blowout argument or discussion, I guess is what you want to call it. So we'll see how that actually plays out. I'm not, sometimes those things work out. Just as often they do not, for varying teams. With this in mind, though, Cleveland has been taken from +2 to -1.5 at San Antonio. And why? Well, it's the Spurs offense. It's the problem. Now, we know that Kawhi Leonard has hardly played at all. They have some other aging veterans that don't add as much as what they used to, and they're 28th in scoring in the NBA this year. So their defense has been fine, but their shooting has not been. So that's been the case, and I think that's the main reason for the flip. The other thing that occurred, and this has to do, I think, with the Cleveland defense, which is, not been very good of late, or just in general, I should say, all season long. Total has gone from 207.5 to 211. On the side, honestly, I would recommend to pass on the side. I have no idea where these two teams are mentally at this time. I would recommend to pass because I'm doing the video. I'll just give you the slightest of leans with Cleveland, but I do like the over. Okay, on this one, I think that the over is going to be a good bet. I think San Antonio's offense will find enough holes in that Cleveland defense and be able to take advantage of them. Now, this other game on TNT is Boston at the LA Lakers, the old classic matchup. And maybe for Boston, maybe this trip out west will be what helps them cure their woes. They've lost 3 in a row, all at home. The Celtics are the #1 field goal percentage defense in the NBA at close to just a little bit above 43%. But in their last 3 games, all those losses, they didn't hold one team under 45%. Okay, so that's a problem right off the bat. Now they have not been Boston all year. I mean they've been a great defensive team because they're not a great shooting team. And in their last 6 games, only once have they shot above 45.2%. And in their past 4 games, they've had 70 turnovers. Oh my goodness, NBA, 70 turnovers. So that's just that's just horrible. So with this in mind, I'm not really sure why the total went from 207 to 208.5. Because the information on the Celtics is kind of conflicting, a little bit yes, a little bit no. At the same token, the Lakers, they're like a yo-yo. Duncan yo-yo, they go up, they go down, they go up, they go down. Hard to figure as to what's the best way to go there. I'm going to recommend an underplay because the Celtics are 7-0 under, coming off a upset loss as a home favorite in their next game. I think that's going to be the play. Let's move ahead to college basketball. And ESPN has been heavily promoting their Kansas-Oklahoma game tonight. It's going to be at 7 Eastern is what it's. And the Big East, as we know, has been fantastic all season long. Really been a terrific conference. A lot of great games. A lot of interesting games. Teams win, teams lose. It's been very highly competitive. And for the most part, there's just no easy outs. Now, in this one, the total opened at 172. So, of course, the thinking here is this should be a high-scoring game, which obviously makes a lot of sense. However, some bettors, or many bettors, or enough bettors, have taken the total down to 170 on this one. And, one way to look at this, the Oklahoma defense, their percentage isn't bad, but you know what? Now, I know they've played 2 overtime games in conference, and one was double overtime. But, they're giving up 73 shots per game. I mean, wow, that's ugly. I mean, the high voltage teams average maybe 62 to 65 shots per game, and they're giving up 73. So that's part of the reason why you look to play an under. But you know what, Kansas, I'll tell you what, that Kansas defense, they'll give up points on occasion, but that Kansas defense is strong. Now, I'm not going to say that they're going to shut down Trae Young. That hardly anybody's done that all year. But when they are on the road and they're facing teams that hoist 62 or more shots per game, they're 7-0 under in the regular season the last 3 years. Keep an eye on the under on that one. Finally, let's go to the MAC. Tuesday night typically is a MAC night, and this one is certainly the case. It's going to be on ESPN3, also at 7 o'clock. Ball State at Kent State. Ball State the road team went from a pick to -3 at Kent State, and I looked around and I could not exactly find a reason as to why. Now, the Cardinals are the better team. They have the better record. If you go to the website, I'll leave the records. I'm not going to go through all those numbers right here. But if you go to the website, there's the records of the teams there. And they're also the better shooting team with the numbers at the website as well. So those are the positives. But the Golden Flashes are 7-2 straight up this year at home, compared to Ball State being 3-6 straight up. So from that standpoint, I kind of like the direction of that for and I forgot to mention Ball State 3-6 in road games. Okay, didn't want to leave that out. The Cardinals, when they have visited Kent, Ohio, in recent trips, 1-10 straight up, 4-7 against the spread, and those were mostly as underdogs, I do know. And in their last 4 games, they have committed 23 more turnovers than Kent State has. So if Kent State gets them to turn the ball over, I think things get rolling their way. And the way that Ball State is playing, I think that's very much a possibility. So I'm going to go with Kent State in this one. So, hey, this is Doug Elson for Vegas Pro Insiders Daily. I will be back tomorrow. We will probably I know we'll have at least 2 NBA games and probably a similar setup as today. If I can squeeze in another one to give you a 5th pick in, I will certainly try to do that. So, this is Doug Elson for Vegas Pro Insider Daily. Think about becoming an Inner Circle member because you will not regret it. As of right now, I am out.